Hola a todos y bienvenidos a un nuevo video aquí al canal de Vivencias Mágicas, en donde la magia está en ti. Voy a aclarar que voy a dar este paseo, pero en estos paseos no siempre vamos a ver siempre lo mismo, no vamos a ver todos los animales. Aclaro eso por si acaso están viendo el video y quieren ver todos los animales es un poco bien difícil, porque obviamente pues están en ambos lados. Así que nada, yo espero que les guste este paseo.
Now, Jumbo, everybody. My name is Ashley. I'm going to be your safari guide here today on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. First things first, before we go anywhere too fun, we do have to go over the basic safety reminders, and that's basically just to sit down. Sit down the entire time with those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck. We do that. We're good to head on in. For those who do or do not know, the reserve is a giant game of peekaboo. So use those looking eyes and those listening ears here in the little Terry forest for animals like the bongo hiding on your left. The bongo are these reddish, brownish antelope here with the curved horns. They use those horns, no matter their gender, to weave their way in and out of all the thick brush that surrounds them. While the greater kudu hanging out with them, that tall grayish brownish antelope, will use those white vertical stripes of theirs to help give them the illusion of sunbeams radiating down through the trees. So if they want to be hidden, they'll just hide right there and go, nope, you don't see me. It's just a sunny little bush. But on the right-hand side, there's an okapi over there getting some snacks. The okapi have these black and white stripes on their legs and on their backside, making you think that they wear zebra pants. They don't wear pants. That's okay. This is their home. Who are we to judge? But if anything, I know those black and white stripes make them look like a zebra, but they're not. The okapi is a completely different thing that like to hang out like in the forest of Africa, like this one here. But if anything, their only known relative is actually a giraffe. They're just a lot shorter than their cousin. Until 1901, Western explorers had never even seen an okapi before. They thought it was a myth being told by the locals. They're like, yeah, next you're gonna tell me Bigfoot's out here too. Until they went on their own safari, like we're doing right now, and they saw it for the very first time. Coming up on the left-hand side, I do see another black and white creature, though. It's a saddle-billed stork. Now, these birds are actually standing about 5 feet tall. These ones are just kneeling down right now. They're just on their knees. But when they're standing, they're about 5 feet tall, so they might be taller than some of you. But they also have a 9-foot wingspan, which means when they spread their wings out nice and wide, their wings are just about as wide as this truck. Now, as we keep on going, we're going to head on our way to the Salvaje River. Any watering hole will be a great place to check out because everybody's got to stay hydrated. We all need to be drinking our water, and the animals know it too. Now, I did see some pink-back pelicans. During mating season, the males will show off their pink backs and be like, hey, is your favorite color pink? Because, like, that's all I've got. I hope that does it for you. So hopefully somebody's favorite color is pink. But I'm seeing the pink backs of another animal out there for sure. Now, the river does appear on the left-hand side, and usually we overall have a better view for everyone. So I'm hoping that remains true. It looks like this river has been inhabited lately by some hippos. But hippos sink to the bottoms of rivers. But if you look to your left-hand side, it looks like they did indeed come up for a breath. Now, hippos can't swim. They walk, run, skip, and jump along the bottom of the river floor, but they don't swim. But they do know how to float because they still do need to breathe air. Every 5 to 8 minutes, they will float up to the top, take a breath, and then sink right back down, even when sleeping, like those ones right there. Their bodies have a natural buoyancy system in them, so that allows them to sink to the bottom, rise to the top, take a breath, and sink right back down without even waking up, so they can continue to dream the happiest of little hippo dreams. I knew that we'd probably see a couple more of them, but we kept going just a little bit further, as we do travel together in groups known as a float of hippos. Now I'm going to cross this very old bridge here, but as I do so, it's going to take me to the savannah. A savannah by nature is a wide open grassland, which will make things a lot easier to see help you out as we go. Now even from up here, I can see a group of Hartman's mountain zebra at the base of this hill, but also a Maasai giraffe keeping an eye on things. As we get closer to the zebra though, check out their stripes. No two zebras in the world have the same stripes. They're all completely different, as unique as a fingerprint. Even in groups known as the dazzle of zebras, they will use those stripes to tell each other apart. But it looks like there's a lot more than just that one giraffe. I see about 7 or 8 of them, honestly. And closest to us here on the right-hand side, there's a baby one right here. Just hiding behind this tree. Now, even as a baby, they've never known a short day in their life. The average baby giraffe will be born anywhere about 6 feet tall, give or take. But then they'll grow to be about 16 to 20 feet tall once they're fully grown. But it's weird to think about, because even though that giraffe is probably about closer to 7 feet now, just the neck of an adult giraffe is about 6 feet long. So that entire baby giraffe is about the length of just their neck right now on that one. Which is weird to think about because the neck of a giraffe is the exact same as a human. We both have 7 vertebrae, 7 bones, and they're shaped the same way. Theirs are just a lot bigger. On your left-hand side, there's some African painted dogs taking a nap at the base of that tree. They are dogs, just like you're thinking, but African painted dogs will not be the ones you take home. They might be cute, but they are some of Africa's most successful hunters. They chase their prey down as a team, as a pack. They keep running until we can't anymore, and then we are their breakfast. But that's why animals like the sable antelope on your left have horns that point backwards. That's in case any predator, or just anybody who's too close for comfort, they're going to reach their heads back and poke them off. Like, poke, poke, stop chasing me. Poke, poke, stop biting me. Until they get the point to just leave them alone. Looks like all these giraffes are just eating right now. You might get a view of that world's longest tongue on them too. Their tongue averages about 18 inches long, so that's about the tip of your middle finger to your elbow. But that tongue is also prehensile, which is just a big kid word that means they can use their tongue like a hand to help them with grabbing onto snacks, maybe too high or too low for them. As most of their day-to-day does rely on eating, as they will eat for about 18 hours a day. Which is pretty crazy. Now they're constantly eating, but they don't sleep very often. They only sleep a total of 30 minutes a day.
What?
And it's not even one 30-minute nap. It's just a couple seconds here, a couple minutes there, whenever they can fit it into their very busy schedule of eating. Heading in right when you get across the road safely. Around here we call that a giraffic jam. I saw her put her little hoof out and I was like, she's going fast. I'll let her go. Coming up on the right-hand side of this hill here, there's a tree up there that splits into 3. On the right-hand side up there, you're going to see some springbok. Springbok are really tiny little antelope up there. But while they might be probably the smallest thing out here, they are in the top 10 fastest animals in the world. What they do essentially is a really big bunny hop called pronking, where where they jump 6 feet straight into the air and 13 feet forward. They can do it individually, but they will do it together, pronking, which ends up looking like a big bunny hop. But they can help them reach speeds of 55 to 60 miles an hour. They're tiny. They're getting around if they want to. On the right-hand side, playing peekaboo amongst this tall grass, is an African elephant. Right next to us, actually. It's just right behind those trees there. So let me just kind of curve around this water hole so you guys can get a good look. Now, whenever we see one elephant all by itself, it's usually a tell that it is a bull elephant, a boy, a bachelor. If we keep on going and we find a bigger group, that's probably going to be the female group. But from right now, it probably looks like this one is all by itself. Now, when the boys are little, they'll be raised by the ladies, taught all the little life lessons that they need to know to be big and grown. But once they are on their own. Once they hit maturity, they'll leave the herd and live out the rest of their days as a bachelor, just doing whatever they want to do, wherever they want, whatever feels right. All the females will always stick together in those groups. All the moms, daughters, cousins, nieces, aunts, and of course, Grandma. Grandma is in charge simply because she is the oldest. Elephants have really good memories. So if you're the oldest, naturally you're going to remember the most stuff, so they're all going to follow Grandma because maybe she's migrated through this reserve before. Maybe she knows where the best snacks are. Hopefully she led them to this water hole that I know about that's right around this corner. There's actually a couple of them, and I see more trunks playing around out there too. Now this one's flapping its ears. Now, my optimistic side is telling me that it's waving at me hello. Because some people have said that when an elephant flaps their ears at one another, it's like waving a hand to say hello. But the knowledgeable part about me knows that they're just trying to cool down. Because it's pretty hot outside. And elephants get hot just like we do. That they can't just fan themselves off, but they will do with their own ears. Just simply something as them flapping their ears can actually get enough blood pumping through their bodies to cool themselves down about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. That added with the wind gusts coming from those ears, they're pretty chill right now. Even that baby one there hiding behind that rock. As you can see, just like the giraffe using their tongue like a hand, the elephant can use their nose like a hand. That one's showing off using that trunk of theirs to grab onto some snacks. But they can also use it like the end of a straw. They won't drink straight through it, too many boogers. But they will just kind of hold a ball of water at the base of it, bring it up to their mouth so they can sip from it like a sippy cup, and just spray it into their mouth. Looks like this watering hole, though, has gathered the attention of some greater flamingo. The greater flamingo, they are the lightest shade of pink of any flamingo. When they're first born, they're not even pink at all. They're just this fluffy little gray and white little dude. But after some time, they get bigger, they grow up, they develop into this pink color you see here. Otherwise, stay pretty pale. A group like this is known as a flamboyance of flamingos. the tree lines will come back in, which means we need to keep an eye out because anything could be lurking back here. And I do mean anything. Because right now, I'm getting a very good glimpse of a full moon. On the right-hand side, that is. Looks like there's some white rhinos over here. White rhinos, they are a very social group. They hang out together in groups known as a crash of rhinos, so we usually see two. There's probably some more lurking around very close by. Now, they're probably the largest species of rhino we can encounter, as they can be about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds each. And still run a top speed of 35 miles an hour, which is pretty good. I know it's not the fastest thing in the world, but I can't run 35 miles an hour. But I've been keeping an eye on some animal activity out here lately. In the hills on our left-hand side, we've been spotting some cheetahs up there at the top for quite some time now. Cheetahs will keep an eye on vantage points like this because they need to be able to make sure that they can take off at a moment's notice, but they will try to get any energy stored up that they can, because while cheetahs can run 60 to 65 miles an hour, they can only do it for a couple of 100 yards, only for a brief couple of seconds. So by the time they get all that speed and energy going, they're already tired again, and they need a cat nap to recharge that energy. Now, they are a diurnal cat, so they'll be awake during the day, and they sleep at night, just like we do. But everybody needs a cat nap. Of cat naps, it looks like somebody is definitely sleeping on top of this copy rock on our left-hand side. So it looks like they're on the other side. I just saw a quick tuft of fur. Looks like the rest of those rhinos did show up here on the right-hand side, though, out in this clearing. Yep. The thing is rhinos don't have the best eyesight, so they might hear us rocking around out here, but they not see us. But they probably don't see that African lion sleeping on that rock there either. Now that's definitely the male lion there, based on that tuft of mane around his face and neck. It looks like there might be some females laying right behind him too. Yep, definitely they are. Now when they are fully awake, the male might help them out, might help the girls out with hunting, but his main job is just to sit at home and guard the house, while the females, the lioness, are in charge of the majority of the hunting. But they're not going to be awake right now. Lions are nocturnal cats. They sleep all day, sometimes resting more or less than 18 hours a day, which does sound lovely. They're more of a dusk till dawn kind of kitty. Looks like those rhinos want to follow us. I think that'd be cute. Now we do have one last little stop before we head back to the village. And it's right around this corner. It's called the Magadi Glen. Now the glen is home to the Borden Post, a little rest stop before we head back on in. But with conservation comes cohabitation. Learning to live together, but how to work together as a team. That can come and play many different ways in our everyday lives. But here at the Borden Post, maybe the warden might not be home, but their roommates probably will be. The warden's been taking care of some Nigerian dwarf goats lately. They sure are cute. Now we give them food, protection, and everything they need to live the best little goat life possible. There's even some tailgating in the back of that truck there. But they give back to us us as well, as they are dairy goats. They give us milk so that way we can make dairy products, help sustain ourselves while we're out here. It is just a little win, but we do love those wins, big or small, as they always add up to be something greater. Now, as we head back to the village, don't be discouraged. We actually always encourage people to do multiple safaris within your day, your trip, and your life, because every safari is going to be different every single time. But if there are any wilderness explorers, you have been riding along the Simba 1, page 14. You didn't know the number of your truck, and today that was the Simba 1. But if you want to see some more animals here in the village, as you make your way off the dock and head back up to the village, you're going to pass by Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. You might as well just head on in. It's good for the whole family. Strollers, ATVs, and wheelchairs are also fully accessible to go through. And you're going to see animals like meerkats, naked mole rats, reindeer, over 30 different types of birds. There's an underwater viewing area of a hippo pool, so you can see what's going on when they're down at the bottom of the river, and a bunch of other animals, including gorillas. There is a family group and a bachelor group, and if you are a wilderness explorer, there's 3 more badges you can earn out there as well. Or you can take the Wildlife Express train to the conservation station. Up there, you can do a dance party with Bluey while taking a tour of the animal hospital itself. And outside, there's an area called Jumping Junction, where you can go out and walk around with kangaroos, wallabies, and so much more, while earning 5 more badges along the way. Now here at Salvaje, we never like to say goodbye, as goodbye